just leaving Distorted Music Land, and while I was there, some guy tried to beg $2 off me just while I was sitting down on the couch. I never had that happen in the mall before, but I never sat down there.
Sorry.
So yeah, that was not edifying, I've got to say. But he also put the pinch on someone else straight after I told him to rack off, in effect. I did it more nicely than that. He was actually polite, I'll give him that, and well dressed, of course. Just total, I mean, I think that'd be a pretty dangerous thing to do. You think that Lend-Lease, who own the property, would not be impressed having someone begging within the confines of their mall. But who knows these days, everything's so slack. Anything's possible. If I had my druthers, I'd actually be instituting ethics classes in every school in Australia, because I think we really need to go back to basics and learn basic ethics and basic economics too, for that matter, rather than all of the politically correct garbage they're probably shoving down the throats of the poor students. Not only that though, in America they had the hard left sort of agenda in the government service. You had to, if you worked for the government, that's what Trump is trying to wind back, and good on him. But it's just ridiculous. In the army, I think, actually is one of the areas. The army's gone really PC, and that's absurd. What sort of a fighting force would they be? Absolutely useless. But of course, considerations like that are just, guy on the bike, he just bloody cut right across me and walked on the walkway. What an idiot. Didn't say anything, just cut right in front of me while I was walking. Arsehole. Jesus, some of these people have no consideration. Again, ethics. Yeah, that wasn't great, having to put up with a beggar in the mall, but I've had that, actually, a beggar in Woolworths itself, in the actual supermarket. I've struck that. So it's pretty bad up here. Other thing that's bad is that the liquorland, their terminal for cards is absolutely crap. I can do touch and go anywhere I go when it goes to the supermarkets or any other retailer. For that matter, any other large retailers, no problem. But with Liquorland, their card readers are so crappy that she had to insert the card. She had to try two different ways of swiping it, and then I had to put my bloody PIN number in, which I don't normally do. If it's I bought a $45 bottle of Jameson's Irish whiskey. Luckily there was plenty on the shelves, and normally if it's under $100 you can tap and go. You can do that at Dan Murphy's, you can do it at supermarkets, but because of their stuffed up terminal, I also had to put my PIN number in, so it's a bit of a hassle. Went through okay, of course, but it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be happening. I mean, I'll try sending them a line. Presumably there's some way of contacting them online, but you never know. I haven't had much joy with online today, have I, with the opening hours of Spence Street Barbers. That's an absolute joke. I will probably send them a message too and tell them that it says your business is open during public holidays, which is not true. So they should just make it clear that they're not open public holidays, and save a lot of people hassles. It wasn't a huge hassle for me, just had to walk a bit further, and it's a pleasant day for a walk, although it's not as pleasant as it was. But just annoying that the whoever's managing that Liquorland just doesn't seem to give a crap. It affects efficiency too, you know. If you've got a dodgy card reader, it's going to slow down your transactions. It's not smart. They've got two of them. I might be always going to the wrong one. Maybe it's the one on the left is better than the one on the right. Even card readers are political. And a few people out and about on their bikes. Hopefully they've got better bike sense than that idiot who tried to cross right in front of me, turn right. Like, who does that? I'm walking in this direction, the guy just crosses right, just does a hard turn right in front of me. without any indication. He could have said something, he could have, yeah, asking too much, I guess. Not good. Oh, these noisy buggers. I cop them every morning because we've got businesses just abutting the block of flats, and you get the, yeah, when they do the first, when, I don't know when they're opening up the truck or whatever, it makes a hell of a racket, the initial one, real big thud. And that's about 6:30 in the morning, so if you want to sleep in where I live, forget it. But they weren't there today, so that was good. Very nice and calm. And like I say, I'm happy I got my pizza anyway, so that's good too. Got my my whiskey and I got my pizza, so I'm a simple man and I'm fairly happy with that. Now just give me my liberty. That's probably the harder part to get, and let me get out of this country and go back to Vietnam. Actually, liquor's cheap over there too. I won't bother buying duty free anymore at an Australian airport. I'll just buy it in Vietnam and make sure I've got less than, I think it's 2.5 litres or something. As long as you've got less than 2.5 litres, you're fine. But the duty free places in the airports have gone off, in my opinion. I used to buy Beefeater gin. They don't have it anymore. They've got the more expensive Bombay Sapphire, and that is a lot more expensive gin, and it's just a wank. You don't need to spend that much on gin. Beefeater is quite a nice gin. I don't have a problem with it, but in their wisdom they decide not to sell it. But I can buy it in Vietnam, no problem. There's a few supermarkets there I can buy it from, and there's some reasonably good stores just near the bars that stock a hell of a lot of stuff, and they've also got fairly cheap liquor. Obviously the tax is a lot less over there, so that's what I'll do next time, if I ever get back there, that is. I'm starting to get pessimistic. I don't know if the federal government will release their stranglehold on Australians travelling. They should have by now, in my opinion. I think this is absurd. Singapore has already said that people from Australia can come there, but our government is not allowing people to, unless they're one of the lucky, I think it's 25% to get the okay if you put a grovelling request in. Stuff bloody Australian politicians, they're arseholes. I mean, they can travel. I bet you they've got no restrictions at all. And then they also got the Chairman's Lounge. They've got such a soft life. Chairman's Lounge is a special lounge for someone who's an MP in Australia, and it's an exclusive place. I got to stick my head and have a look at it, around the corner, have a look at it, because we had a tour of the airports when I worked for Service Partners, who look after the frequent flyer program. So that's why I know about the Chairman's Lounge. But you have to be invited to actually be a member. So in other words, if you become an MP, if you're some crazy nutcase Green MP, you're still allowed to have that privilege. Of course, if they ran the economy, there would be no lounges, there'd probably be no airports. Lunatics. No, they had some serial vegan chick on Daily Mail today they're talking about. She's just a laughing stock. Apparently she's so fanatical. They don't do the rational vegans any good. They need to come out and out these idiots, because they're giving them a really bad name. It's like Black Lives Matter has been totally discredited. Now it's run by a very hardcore Marxist group. Got nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. They actually make doing more harm to the black community than good anyway, by having riots, destroying black businesses in cities. Just crazy. This world's gone mad. I just hope that Trump romps it in, because a message needs to be sent to the Democrats in America that they're going to have to come back to the middle ground. This is just craziness, embracing policies by that lunatic Ocasio-Cortez. What an absolute bimbo that woman is. Oh, well, what a world. Rationality's got to come back eventually, otherwise it'll be the end of civilization. Not quite as bad as previous civilizations fall in, because as long as someone holds on to the knowledge, you can rebound. But I do see some terrible signs in the current situation. As I say, with the Roman Empire, one of the first signs of degradation was how they kept bastardizing the currency. They used to have more silver and gold to make it actually have real inherent value, but they kept reducing it as the empire dragged on and became more decadent. I went through the same crap we're going through now back thousands of years ago. You know, they had a very elite upper class, which now we've got, especially in America with the dot-com billionaires, the high-tech billionaires, the Silicon Valley billionaires. They're the Democrats. The Democrats are the party of the elite, wealthy, and whereas now the Republicans is more for battlers in America, and that's why the Republicans will win. It's the same situation as in Australia with Liberals. Liberals now, you know, they don't necessarily represent the elites exclusively. The Labor's got plenty of very rich patrons, and they certainly don't represent the interests of working class in Australia. The Labor Party, they've got no idea. They'd feel quite uncomfortable rubbing shoulders with average people, much like Turnbull was. Turnbull's a disaster with average people. He couldn't relate at all, yet he came from a humble background. Very strange. Oh well, that's enough raving for me. I'll run out of oxygen if I keep talking, so I'll let it go. I'm almost back home. Good. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever, and either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.